Hey there, America. This is Ben Goldman coming to you from the Ben Goldman Show. It is August the 7th, 2019, and I am here to bring you the news. First up, we're covering Joaquin Castro, the Democrat congressman from San Antonio. Joaquin Castro thought it would be a good idea to give out the personal information of 44 Trump donors in his district, which he said it was sad to see so many San Antonians in 2019 as max donors to the Trump campaign. He also went on to say their contributions are fueling hate to label Hispanic immigrants as invaders, all based on that horrible shooting, which, by the way, was absolutely awful. That guy was sick. He should not have been targeting people racially. At the same time, there is a question as to whether or not the manifesto it's all based off was even his own, but Joaquin decided it would be smart to give out a bunch of information about people that had just simply donated to the Trump campaign, including who their employers were, so people could harass them at work and they could lose their jobs. These are people in his own district, people he was voted in to represent, and he's giving out their personal information. He basically said it's their own fault because he believes they support white power by supporting Trump. It's sick. And when he was brought on to the liberal news stations earlier this morning, he actually refused to apologize.
That's my question.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I made the point that their money is going to fuel these ads, and that's creating a danger. It's inciting hate towards a community. And so that's creating a danger for millions of people. And we saw an instance where there's a cost to that. In El Paso, the terrorist, the shooter, basically mimics a lot of the language President Trump himself has used, and that's consistent with those Facebook ads. So, giving money to Donald Trump at this point it should not be considered just the cost of doing business, or I'm a Republican in good standing, so I want to support the president. You're giving money for somebody that's going after a community, and people have gotten killed because of that.
Said he had done the right thing because these people are Trump supporters and therefore must be white supremacists. It's gross. This guy, Joaquin Castro, by the way, he is the twin brother of 2020 Democrat presidential candidate Julian Castro, who, as of this report coming out, has yet to condemn his brother's statements. Maybe he agrees with them, maybe he doesn't. We don't know, because he won't say a darn thing about it. This is horrible, guys. For many reasons, you shouldn't be giving out information of random donors just to suppress people's support for a candidate. It's even sicker when it's the congressman that's supposed to represent them doing that. That is not what your position in Congress is for, Joaquin Castro. And frankly, you should resign. If you're going to sit there and put your own district in danger, you should resign immediately. You should be impeached because it's sick. It's true. This is coming from me saying this too. It's horrible. Nobody should be giving out information, private information to people just for political donations, simply so they can be attacked. Absolutely bad. We shouldn't do that. Democrats, you should quit doing that. It's horrible. Also, remember, if you enjoy my show, follow me on Facebook.com/Ben Goldman Show, on Twitter.com @RealDannyGold, or you can download my podcast at bengoldman.podbean.com. All right, next up, Donald Trump. Now, President Donald Trump is out visiting Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso, Texas today to help console the families of the victims of the shooting, including the victims themselves, as well as to meet with local community leaders out there. Now, on his way out the door, on his way into the Marine One today, flying down to those areas, Trump told reporters he's all for background checks.
Well, we're going to see where we are. We're dealing with leadership right now. And you have two sides that are very different on this issue. And let's say all good people, but two sides that are very different. If we get close, I will bring them back. But it has to be, we have to see where we are with leadership. Normally, this has been really a decision. Congress gets together and they try and do something. But if you look over the last 30 years, not a lot has been done.
What could you support?
Well, I'm looking to do background checks. I think background checks are important. I don't want to put guns into the hands of mentally unstable people or people with rage or hate, sick people. I don't want to. I'm all in favor of it. Well, I can tell you that there is no political appetite for that at this moment. If you look at, you could speak, you could do your own polling, and there's no political appetite from it from the standpoint of legislature, but I will certainly bring that up. I'll bring that up as one of the points. There's a great appetite, and I mean a very strong appetite, for background checks, and I think we can bring up background checks like we've never had before. I think both Republican and Democrat are getting close to a bill to doing something on background checks.
He wants significantly extended background checks on anyone who purchases guns. He says it's pretty much supported bipartisanly across the board, and he said he'll be all in favor. And not only that, he's going to push Congress on it. He'll push them on it. If they don't vote on it, he'll push them again and make sure it happens. Interestingly enough, though, another reporter actually asked President Trump if he would also support an assault weapon ban. Trump said there's no political appetite for said assault weapon ban, but he will bring it up to Congress to see how they feel about it. Now, this is very interesting because we've never had a Republican president before who has pushed openly on these kinds of what are frankly possible infringements to the Second Amendment. But obviously, after all these shootings, Trump is considering it. Now, it's important to remember that Trump's a New Yorker, was a lifelong Democrat. His son is a big hunter, but President Donald Trump personally is not. And he may actually feel this way. Either way, he's trying to do what he believes is best for the American people. And as voters, if you disagree with him on any of these, you have every single right to call up your congressmen, your senators, and tell them not to vote for this. But that's on you. That's up to you. This is just what President Trump apparently does believe, is that we do have an opportunity, essentially, to start doing extended background checks. Just yesterday, he openly supported what are known as red flag laws, which would help gun salespeople notice potential shooters based on their own history by flagging them in the system. The extended background checks, however, focus more on private sales of guns to make sure that people that want to sell guns, say online or at gun shows, can't do it without performing an actual government background check on the people they're selling them to. Again, this is from the president, not from me. If you agree or disagree, please feel free to call your congressmen or senators and let them know. If you're enjoying the show still, guys, remember to follow me on Facebook.com/Ben Goldman Show, on Twitter.com @RealDannyGold, or download my podcast at bengoldman.podbean.com. All right, a little bit lighter news. There's a new movie coming out that has a lot to do with Trump supporters. It's called The Hunt. This new movie is being released by Universal, and the whole plot from beginning to end, is that liberal elites go around and capture Trump supporters, throw them into a private reserve, which is called the Manor, and hunt them, pull out guns, and hunt to kill them because they believe it's fun and they believe they're better than them. I believe the quote was, "We paid for America, so we should be able to do whatever we want with it."
The Manor is the ultimate in luxury. From the moment you step onto our private jet, you'll realize that hunting is not just a sport. It is a 5-star boutique experience. Our guides will ensure that your expedition is deeply rewarding as you come face to face with game unlike any you have ever hunted. The bond, the thrill, the memories. That's the Manor difference. This is the ultimate human experience. Join us for the hunt.
Well, after the shootings, this new movie's trailer has gotten banned from a bunch of places. This new movie, by the way, made by the people that made The Purge, was considered possibly too offensive and could trigger people after those shootings. ESPN, for instance, said no way they're going to air those ads. None. And also, many of the film studios out there actually rejected this film because they were worried that it could be too controversial. Too controversial. Interestingly enough, a lot of these studios had no qualms with a movie called The Purge Election Year, which was very, very, very anti-Republican. Very clearly that the targets of that movie were supposed to be Republicans as the bad guys, and the Democrats, socialists especially, were the good guys. These film studios, many of which do support socialism, had no qualms with that. But the second the Trump supporters become the victims in the movie, they say, no way, that could make us look bad. Well, guys, here's the thing. If you want people to watch your films, you got to treat them equally. We can't sit there and pull that whole Justice League stuff where they tried to tie Trump to Nazis, specifically Trump supporters to Nazis, at the beginning of the Justice League, which, by the way, tanked. Horrible. Failed movie, failed series, and it's because you guys are too darn political. So, The Hunt switches the roles, still very violent, definitely not for kids to go see, but it's interesting to see a movie where the Trump supporters are the victims instead of the perpetrators. The original name of the movie, by the way, was Red State versus Blue State. Blue State was bad, Red State was innocent and good. But that's just the way Hollywood does stuff. They love playing on controversy. Obviously, politics is the center of all controversy right now, and they're trying to make some money. Shouldn't surprise any of us. It is what it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, remember, if you want to watch more of my show, you can visit me on Facebook.com/Ben Goldman Show, on Twitter.com @RealDannyGold, or you can download my podcast at bengoldman.podbean.com. Also, feel free to message me directly on any of those platforms. I'm always around, always listening, and will be happy to answer your questions and even bring them up in tomorrow's episode. Thank you guys so much and have a wonderful day.